Welcome back to Survivor Panama.
We're back, baby.
Island.
Two whole episodes in, and it's already changing. So everything's already changed.
Yeah, 4 tribes down to, what was it, 2 tribes?
Yep. Two tribes now.
Yeah.
The game will change forever.
That's right. And Melinda was voted out. We all know her. We all love
Melinda
her.
was out. Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
we all, everyone knew and love her. Yep.
There were a lot
So.
of different, groupings going on. Like, this 4 will stick together, this 4 will stick together.
Mm.
Shane wanted to quit, then Aris convinces him to stay. And then both are just kind of weirdly open about who they want to go. And it was, some weird,
Yeah, Eris and Shane are like, they're like, we're voting you out. And it was like, and people were kind of like weird about it.
but it just,
And then
it's okay. It worked. Like,
Yeah.
the 4 that Shane put together, they just are just sticking together, it seems.
Yep.
And they did that.
It's like the four of us and Bobby.
Who is the
Bobby's just there, I
non-factor,
guess.
apparently, yeah.
Who's he's just a non-factor, yeah. Because he said the four of us.
Mm-hmm.
I was
And
just
it was
whatever.
like the 4 of us, and it's going to be between Melinda and Sari on who goes. And Bobby's just there.
He's just there, chilling.
But yeah, so we got the Lamina tribe and Kasaya tribe.
Well, yeah, Lamina and Kasaya, yep.
So we got Terry, Sally, Austin, Misty, Nick, Ruth Marie, and Dan was on Lamina, and then Kasaya was Danielle, Shane, Courtney, Aris, Sari, Bobby, and Melinda, who's gone now. And since Melinda's gone, Bruce got swapped in for Kasaya there.
Yep, so Bruce is now he was exiled and we got very little of him.
He was
It
exiled
just
for
his,
3 days, and we got
I know that's
nothing of it
we
really.
got very we got like very little. Like what did he eat out there? I guess he had to eat something.
Like he was all good. He was all good out there because he just come back. Now you're in Kasaya tribe.
He just meditated, he did some kata exercises and there you go. That's it. That's all you
Lucky
need.
you get to join the Kasaya tribe, where last tribal council they're just openly like, well, it's gonna be one of these 2 people that's not in the 4, and that's what it was. So have fun with that.
Yeah,
Bruce.
it kind of was what it was. Yeah.
Well, you enjoying it so far?
It's been interesting so far. I still don't really know exactly how I feel about it. We'll see as we keep going. I did think it was really kind of weird that it was like, oh, we're immediately switching it back, but it kind of made sense the more you think about it. It was still just a very strange way to start the season off, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I feel like we're just starting to get in the groove now. This episode should maybe help me sort of feel out what's going on.
Okay.
How we're doing further. So.
Well, if you're new to the channel, I've seen this season. I'm a big Survivor fan. Alec has not seen it. We've been watching the seasons chronologically together from the beginning. So he's only seen seasons 1 through 11. All right, we're in the year 2006. Yep. So that's where we're at. And as always, you can click the link in the description to see the highlights of a reaction, and then we'll come back afterwards to discuss it all. Okay?
Okay. See you then. Real inspirational words from Misty.
Misty. All right, there you have it. Episode 3 of Survivor Panama. Misty has been voted out. Seems the young men made their decision on what side of the aisle to go with, perhaps.
Seems that way.
I want to bro it out,
now.
of course.
Growing it up.
It really took me by surprise that a guy with a John Deere hat wants to bro it out.
He wants to he wants to just hang out with his bros. He's going to hang out with Dan and Terry, Mr. Astronaut,
The shoulder massages were not enough. Not enough.
Man, let me tell you what, they would have been enough for me. I mean,
You're a sucker.
You can't really. I am a sucker for a nice pair of eyes and and a nice little massage. I haven't had a good massage in a long time, so I'd be like, you know what, I appreciate you.
Right. In a completely wholesome way, I appreciate you, and
completely wholesome, not weird way at all.
Your Pokeball and put me on your belt any day.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
I'll show you who has the bigger Pokeballs.
All right.
That's right.
Well, Uh, so we had some great challenges this episode. From the
The
reward
challenges were
challenge,
really pretty spectacular. Not gonna lie.
reward challenge where you had like two people from each tribe, or was it three people standing on a beam over the water,
Mm.
and one person from each tribe launching the balls over there, and you had to grab them. That seems like a fun, just like a fun game in general. If you could set that up, I'd be down. Fun time, a little team game there. And so that was who won that one? Lamina won reward.
Lamina won. Yep, they won the reward, which was some extra supplies, a tarp, and some rope and other good.
Canteens. And then
Mhm.
Kasaya won the immunity challenge, which was a super
Yep.
physical challenge.
Yeah,
That
I was
was a
like,
lot of fun to watch.
dang, extremely fun to watch. Yeah,
They
I
were
call that
both
full beach press, like full
okay.
court press. I mean, just because there was like a lot of wrestling, and I was like trying to find like a way. Is like, do I get like sandbag because they had to like get a bag underneath the sand? But it's just like, nah, they were doing full court press. It's like that was just brutal, just total brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
They
it's hard. You don't see, there have been some like individual moments where there are like one-on-one fights that are down like that, but like everyone was just getting into it. Everyone was being like really physical. It was like a lot all at once. So it's pretty cool.
they
You
were
don't see that
both a lot of fun
like
to
that every day.
watch. Yeah.
Yeah, the other one was fun too. There's some like really cool catches and everything. That just looks like a fun game to just play in general, like set up and
Mhm.
have a good time with. So
Okay, so at the very beginning we had Bruce being introduced to the tribe, seeing everybody's impressions of him. He was talking about how so much experience he had, 30 years teaching kids, 40 years teaching karate, 19 years teaching backpacking,
he's Mr.
you know.
He's Mr. Miyagi, basically. Yeah, he knows how to like. He was like showing them. My first note is he filtrates their water in a dot 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 suspect way.
Yeah, we don't know exactly
I
what
don't.
the method is that
Yeah, I kind of couldn't really figure that out what's going on there. Um, but
and Shane called him
yeah,
neurotic, all right?
yeah. Shane called him neurotic, which I thought was a strange way to. I mean, yeah, he was a little eccentric, but it seemed like he was just trying to like be kind and educate them. Like
I
neurotic
mean,
is not maybe not quite. I guess that's right, but I don't think he's one to speak.
yeah, I think he's quick to throw out these words about everybody else. It's like he's
Yeah.
called Courtney a lunatic. I'm like,
Yeah, he
she just
called her a lunatic.
started yelling in
He's
his
just
little sitting stool or whatever,
that
thinking
was like the
chair.
weirdest, one of the weirdest things I think I've ever seen on Survivor. He was just like, "This is my seat. I'm gonna sit over here. Can we just say that this is my seat?"
And it
And
was
they're like,
all like
"Well, what makes
funny
it your
and
seat?" And then ha
lighthearted.
ha ha. And then he just like freaks out, like, "This is my seat because I want it." And I was like, "Oh my god." It's like, geez, chill out, bro.
And then yeah, like he's just giving Courtney trouble with everything. Like she's just asking for him to help her with this little thing, and he's flipping out on her and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's
Just
yeah.
he's quite a character. He is the Survivor character this year for sure. He's something.
Have you noticed the difference in the tribes yet? Like Lamina is like so peaceful in comparison. Kasaya is like chaos, like
Yeah.
chaotic
It's
personality.
just utter chaos all the time.
Like big
Yeah, especially because it was
personalities and
like
whatnot clashing.
very big personalities. It was just very strange for them to be like they were all like kind of sitting quietly like in like that kind of like, oh, we all lost, and then that happened. And it was like, oh, okay, we're just like exploding with energy now. Okay, we're just going at it.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's complete chaotic energy with that tribe, especially because there was that whole thing with the where earlier with I think it was Courtney. Courtney's the fire dancer, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, where she was like, or there was like the thing where they were together and they were, uh, like some weird like ritualistic stuff, and they're like, oh, there's this dead thing here. It must mean something, and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's some weird. It's just a goofy. What a wild
What
ride
a combo! And
already.
they made this four, and Shane swore on his son's life or whatever. So he was like, I'm stuck with her now, stuck with this lunatic. And you got Aris,
Like, why did you?
who had his hand
How would you?
stacking method in the beginning,
Oh yeah, the hand
but now he's
stacking
like, man,
method.
I'm with a bunch of nut jobs on in my four that I
Yeah,
chose.
yeah. That's you did. You sure did. And so that's been really fun. It's a
So
chaotic energy, and yeah, it's just kind of like low key vibes
yeah,
on Lamina.
yeah.
It's kind of like a little bit sensual, the Misty getting in there and
Missy is
really
a natural flirt.
massaging. Yep,
Didn't work out as well
yep.
as she had hoped, but
Yeah, it's too bad. I like me some flirts. So
lesser men would have
um,
crumbled.
lesser man.
Okay.
I'm a lesser man. I would have crumbled. I would have crumbled really easy. Well, I mean, I don't know. If I'm in that circumstance, I would maybe I could stick to my bro, but I don't know. I don't know, man.
Maybe you
Lesser.
have a
I'm
stronger mentality than that. You could just crumble at any
You
woman
got
that
to
you
if
flirts
you
on
just
that island with you.
crumble with any woman that flirts with me. Yeah, it might happen. You never know.
um, so Bruce, they talked about how Bruce was their leader when they were talking about stuff at the
Yeah.
beginning of the challenge, and then they lost the challenge, and the other tribe was like, "Well, look what you did. Now we're sending Bruce back again to
He was like,
exile. They'll be lost without him."
yeah, and then Bruce was just like, I didn't have any time to look for the idol because it started pouring, and
Yeah.
now I have to like sleep. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like mean and
So you
sad.
don't even have like the one redeeming quality of being an exile was to look for that
Yeah,
idol.
yeah, and it was just like, yeah, I loved how they cut between like, wow, I'm sure glad we got our tarp up just before the rain started, and they're like, well, let's think about Bruce. He's out there all alone, and then it cuts to Bruce, and he's like cuddled up. He's like all cuddled up, and it's like water streaming down
Mm-hmm.
his whole body. Oh, it
That's
was
right.
sad. It was really sad. Yeah, I laughed.
Yeah. And so then it came down to when the other tribe lost. It was Austin and Nick were in the middle, and they had to pick where they wanted to go with Sally and Misty or Dan and Terry.
Hmm.
And I guess Sally and Misty voted for Ruth Marie. They thought that was like a nice,
Yeah.
compromise, I guess, because Ruth Marie is the only one left without a pair there.
Right, and she's like the weaker member, but
So,
nope, they decided to stick with Ruth Marie. So
which is interesting. So supposedly it's just based on challenge performance that Misty didn't do well. Because otherwise, I have to
I guess,
imagine
yeah,
that you would want. Why not just vote out Ruth Marie? And you still are in the middle. Like you still haven't had
yeah,
to make a stance. So you still have Misty and Sally with you, and the two guys with you. But
right.
I guess they cared that much about tribe performance
And
potentially, or they were just threatened by her being a smart woman. And so,
yeah, they were intimidated by her smart right yeah by her big brain, her
mhm.
big brainy brain. Well, because also maybe it was also partially their alliance with Dan and Terry. Terry was the guy who like started finding fish for them because well wait wasn't it? It was Sally that lost the pole though,
Sally
wasn't it?
lost the spear. Yeah,
Yeah. So maybe that might be part of it. And Terry's made up for it by catching edible fish. They've
a
been catching a lot
single
of puffer
fish,
fish.
a single
He
good
caught a
fish
single
though.
fish. Yeah, I know. It doesn't seem like much, but
That's what they needed.
yeah.
So, who would you award your MVP to for the episode?
Oh man, that's real close. Man, it's like there's a whole lot of players here. Like I could give it to Bruce putting out that standout initial performance, and also sit on her.
Sit on a three. Yeah.
Sorry, just sit on her. I could give it to Shane for having his Arthur Fleck performance.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm gonna give it to Misty because she tried her hardest. She tried her hardest. It would have worked on me. I'll tell you that, it would have
You're
worked
giving
on
it to
me. But
Misty.
I'm giving it to
She
Misty.
won you
She's
over even not being on the island.
what's that?
She won you over even with you not being on the island. That was enough. She
Yep, it
still got
worked.
you under her spell.
She's
The
under her
natural
spell.
flirt.
She's a wily woman. She's a wily
She's
woman.
the
Yeah,
right age of
she's
like
got brains.
55 now. You know.
Yeah, well, they can be beautiful too.
Sure.
So she's not that old.
No, it's not that
This show isn't even 20 years old yet. So
old. Not that old.
maybe she's in her 40s.
She's Yeah.
Early 50s, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, 40s probably. Early 40s, I'd
Yeah,
say.
early 40s. Yeah.
Okay. Misty then. So,
Yeah.
what do you think? How do you feel about the going forward?
I really want to see what happens with Kasaya.
Hmm.
I honestly, I'm getting the fun vibes these tribes have. Like, it is really interesting. The dynamics are really interesting. I feel like we still need a little bit more of Lamina. It's been kind of that feels like the most like safe survivor. It's like, oh, okay, it's the group and there's some little power dynamics, but then
Yeah.
you just have a bunch of weirdos on Kasaya. Kasaya, it's just nuts, and I just want to see where that goes because I feel like that's just gonna blow. It feels like it's just gonna explode every episode, and it already did. It did
Yeah.
this episode. It did last episode, so it's just gonna keep doing it repeatedly.
Every
And
preview
I'm
is gonna be like another argument happening. Yeah.
yeah, I'm here for it. I'm down. I'm
So
down for the chaos. So
Kasai's where it's at. We've never really had such a chaotic tribe before, and like such
yeah,
interesting players like Shane who just like says things exactly how he's feeling. He'll just say it. He's like, you see, like last time, it's either Suri or Melinda, and I don't really care which because next time
I
it's
don't
gonna be
really.
the other one. So,
I don't really care which. It's like okay, jeez, dude. I don't really. Yeah, it's just like I don't really like either of you. That was basically what that's saying. I don't care. One of you. You both are going
they
though.
they made that four between Aris, Danielle, Shane, and Courtney, and they're just like stuck to it. But we'll
We're
see. I
sticking to
mean,
it.
they're trying they just keep trying to fracture it definitely with Shane how he's talking to Courtney and whatnot.
It feels like there might be some cracks forming, but I don't know. That could just be the preview talking it up. Jeff
But
Probst
I
being like,
mean,
the cracks begin to form.
Courtney's
It's like, well,
definitely not
maybe.
happy with Shane. How Shane talks to her, takes everything out on her, and then Danielle seems in the preview was the one arguing with Shane too.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's just like so strange. I don't know.
I mean, the others gotta hope that something uh happens there because otherwise they're kind of screwed. They're on the outs. They could just stick with their four if they wanted to.
Mm,
All right. Well,
they could. They may just. We'll see.
thanks for joining us. Come back next week for more.
Yeah.
What video would you recommend our viewers watch next?
Go check out our episode 6 of Survivor. The last one that we did. What's that? What's that again? Survivor Guatemala.
Guatemala, episode 6.
Episode 6. Check out our. That got my Survivor star.
What episode was it?
Judd flips out at Margaret. That was the Judd.
Where he stood up in the tribal
Yeah,
council.
where he stood up at tribal council and went on a rant.
ADD.
There was double tribal there.
Yeah,
I think. Was what happened in that one.
that's right.
Yeah,
It was a good one for sure. A
it was a
historic
good one.
tribal council.
It was historic in many ways. They also played Fall Guys apparently. Oh yeah, Amy gets like completely just like rolled over by that boulder. That happened. Episode, yeah. That was a great episode.
Yeah, and this one was too, honestly.
Yeah. No, this was actually, to be perfectly honest, this doesn't get Survivor Star for me, but this was a really good episode. This like got me back into like, okay, I want to see where this goes. I want to see where this goes.
I love the challenges, and they actually spend very little after the challenges, which usually I don't like, because a lot of times the challenges they just like they're dragged on. Seemingly they could have made it shorter, and I would have been fine. But these were both fun challenges, so I didn't mind.
Yeah, honestly, like I would say like sometimes we get not talking about the challenges as much, but like this time this was like these were some standout stellar challenges. Like they've really upped the game. I mean, 12 seasons in, I'd hope they would, but like this season so far has been they really upped the game, I think, in terms of the challenges. This was really good. They had like a zombie building thing last time too. There was like really interesting stuff so far. So.
This ain't no fly a kite challenge.
This ain't no fly a kite. This ain't no
make a fire challenge.
Make a fire challenge. I was gonna say, what about the puzzle one or whatever it was?
Word search
one. Yeah, it's not Word Finder. Yeah, it's like, what the hell was that? I'm sorry. I know that one was like developed by a little girl or whatever that suggested it, but I'm sorry, but That's kind of mean, but yeah. I'm glad it's not that. That's all I have to say about that. So, um,
Yeah,
all
these are
right,
fun. These are
cool.
fun. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
it's just fun. This is fun.
Subscribe to the channel, like the video if you enjoyed, leave a comment, hit the notification bell, and click the links in the description for our social media.
Yeah, yeah.
You lunatics.
Lunatics, all of them.
Bye.